despite our best efforts, we are still here.
Yeah.
It's June 1st. How does that make you feel?
I think my initial prediction for when we would be done with this virus stuff was by the end of May.
Paul Thurrott, etched in the books of history.
The
Wrong
Nostradamus of tech, ladies and gentlemen. Yep.
I think the key here is he never said what May.
Yeah, exactly.
It goes on for
When a
another year.
pale moon rises in the eastern sky.
There was I think it was a black vulture flying over my house recently, and I was like,
Yep, just about right.
yeah. It's like,
Yeah.
well, here we are. So it is Monday. It was not a holiday weekend, despite, again, our best efforts.
Yeah. We're going to have to figure out some kind of a pretend vacation schedule or something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, just pick a day and then go from there. Not really a whole lot happened over this weekend, really. I mean...
No. Played a lot of Call of Duty.
Did you? Any Warzone?
No, but I did pick up the what's it called? The new Modern Warfare single player campaign again. It's not very good. Like it looks good, but having recently played Modern Warfare 1 and 2 remastered, like those games are like they're fantastic. Like they're really, really good games. This one, like I'll finish it now that I've started. Like I got stuck. If anyone's played this game, you'll remember this. There's these flashbacks in the game to there's a woman character who, as a child, was hunted by like the Russians or whatever. And there's like this awful scene where it's like you're a little girl and you have to run around a house and hide under tables and beds and stuff, so you don't get killed by this Russian soldier. And it's just like, oh, it's awful. It's just awful. Anyway, so I got through it. I know it's the worst thing that's happened during the pandemic, but yeah, I wish it was better. Like, and I will say I did play a little multiplayer. And it's funny, like it's still that same hot cold thing. Like I'll have a game where I literally have the highest score in the game and my team wins. I'm on the final kill cam thing they do or whatever, and it's like great. And then the next game I go like 3-16, like, and it kind of goes back and forth like that. Like you just. I don't feel like I ever get a rhythm going. By the way, I also hate the fact, I don't know how Warzone works, but like this is the only Call of Duty game in the history of Call of Duty games where when you look at the score of the game, which you can flip on at any time, it doesn't tell you how many times you've been killed. Instead of, you get kills and deaths is normal. Like that's the KD ratio. It's the thing you want. You get kills and assists. I don't care how many assists I have. An assist is a slap to the face. It's like I sort of killed someone, and then someone else swooped in and got stole it from me.
Their feelings. It's kind of
yeah. It's like what is that? A mosquito, and then someone else kills them. I don't need the assist. I don't want an assist. Anyway, so no, I didn't play Warzone. I'm sorry. I don't know if you heard the news about Warzone. Supposedly, the next Call of Duty game, which will be like Black Ops, Cold War, will not come with a battle royale game because they're just going to continue with this Warzone.
Yeah, I can't. I mean, they've got like millions, like a very successful game,
and all that work too. I mean, you can't just let it sit there. They'll probably evolve it. There'll be new areas, maybe they'll change the whole island. I don't know, whatever. But yeah, anyway, that makes sense to me. It should, I guess, at this point, it should kind of be a standalone thing. I've always, I made that argument. Warzone's just a game type, like any, but whatever. Yeah. I think once they get it right, and if it's popular enough, yeah, you just continue with it.
Mm-hmm. It'd be interesting if they kept up like the themes tied to the other games. So if they ever come back to like a World War II one, and then they remake the map as like 1940s France or something, that would be
exactly. That'd be cool.
I'm not expecting them to do that, but
well, I mean, there is a tradition in Battle Royale to wipe out the island and start afresh. I mean, they could do a Black Ops themed one. There were certainly. I mean, talk about like a complete lack of creativity. Apparently, like every popular Black Ops map ever made is going to be remade again for this new game, and it's like, of course they are. Like, it's just they just can't stop doing the same thing over and over again.
Speaking of gaming, when is that Sony event? Is it Wednesday?
Whenever the 4th is, yeah.
Oh, it's the 4th. For some reason I thought it was the 3rd. Nope, you're right. It was the 4th. Oh, that's Thursday. I got to wait an extra day for that. Not that I'm going to buy a PlayStation, but
No, I'm definitely not going to buy a PlayStation.
Ladies and gentlemen, Paul Thurrott will be buying a PlayStation. You heard it here first.
Has in fact already pre-ordered it. not just hypocritical, also a freaking liar. No, I don't.
Pay no attention to the man behind the curtain.
Yeah. I have no plans at this time. I guess we'll see what happens, but I know that they have a decent controller.
Yeah, well, it's like 90% of the way there. They just need.
I don't say this because I'm a Microsoft guy. I really like the Xbox ecosystem. I really like what they've done, and I know it took like a terrible defeat to make that happen for sure. But the way they carry games forward with the backward compat, the way they do cross-platform stuff, whenever possible, to play anywhere stuff. This coming move to game streaming. It just like the whole thing makes sense to me. And I don't know, maybe this is just my background, but I mean, you kind of grow up with the Halo stuff. It just feels like right. The only thing that's messed up is Call of Duty. Like that's the one thing that really throws me for a loop. But other than that, it's like the broader strategy of just the way they're doing stuff. I really, really prefer it.
Mm-hmm. So an interesting end to my Mother's Day saga. This is just kind of how it rolled. My wife decided that she did not want them. The AirPods, the AirPod Pros. She's just whatever.
Interesting. But, now, why?
Yeah, just too expensive for what they are. And
I don't remember. I don't believe this was Consumer Reports, but somebody just did I'm sorry, I can't remember who it was, but someone did a review of wireless headphones, and actually the AirPod Pros came in first.
Go figure. Anyway, so the end of the saga is.
Oh yeah, sorry.
So I go to Best Buy and I return them, and Best Buy has their whole like can't go inside thing. That's fine, but here's the nervous point. So you stand outside and I'm like, I need to return these, and they take them and they take your credit card, and then they go back there and the guy brings the credit card back and goes, "You're all done." And I'm like, can I get some sort of paperwork? Nope. No paperwork's going in and out of the store right now. So, like, in some sort of good faith, like, estimate, I'm just assuming that this will hit my credit card. Otherwise, I have zero proof.
So you should have your credit card associated with, I guess, Apple Pay or whatever it is, Apple Wallet. And because you would just, it's like when I go to a restaurant and I pay a bill, back in when we used to do that, like my phone they would take it to the machine and do their thing. And my phone would go bloop, and you get like a little, right
it's
there.
It's different though because it's a refund, not a.
Right. Okay, that's true. Right, that won't show. Okay,
but I'm pretty sure it did happen because I can see the return on my Best Buy account. So, but right. I just like walked out of there walking away holding my credit card just like a dunce. I'm just thinking the guy just put him in his pocket.
This isn't my credit card. What is this?
So yeah. So that's how that ended. Just a whole. So
what's the end game for her with headphones? Like what's?
Oh, I don't know. We're back to square one. We bought a tree instead. I think that was the whole thing. So we live a thrilling life, Paul.
Yeah, no,
That was what we did. We ended up like on Mother's Day. We bought a tree and the Sargentinian crabapple, which I'm afraid the deer are eating. So now we've got to deal with that. So I might need maybe the Father's Day's gift is like a shotgun to protect the tree.
Right. Suddenly Brad's house is full of like mounted heads on the wall of the various deer that he's killed.
Neighbors are having to repaint so frequently from buckshot just hitting the side of their house. Right. It'll be great. So anyways, speaking of not great, this episode has been brought to you by No News Monday.
Well, Microsoft responded sort of to the AppKit.
Oh yeah, that's right, they did. Sort of.
By not addressing any of the complaints, which is astonishing to me. I had already found out who the guy was that did all this stuff to him. His name's Andrew Clinic, and I didn't say anything because I'm not looking for like a lynching or a mob, like an end of a Frankenstein or anything. But anyway, he wrote the post, so his name's out there. But yeah, just crappy what they did to him, and this response says nothing. It doesn't address any of his concerns at all, which is too bad.
Does AppKit open source?
Probably. I don't even know. The problem isn't that they just took AppKit and renamed it, right? I mean, I guess you could do that with open source, whatever. The problem is they wined and dined this guy, and
Yep.
they wanted to bring him in. They said to run this effort, and we will use your code as the basis for this package manager. Would you like to come work at Microsoft? Yes, I would. Thank you. They worked out how that would happen because, whatever, doesn't matter what the deal was. And then they literally ghosted him for 6 months.
Hmm.
And then all of a sudden, they're like, hey, by the way, I just wanted to let you know, tomorrow we're going to announce this thing we're doing. And thanks for all your hard work. And it's like, you just don't. People are, this is not like two individuals ripping each other off in the open source world. This is like Microsoft makes like $33 billion in revenues a quarter. Like, it's just kind of crappy to do this to a person. It's just a, typical struggling programmer, I don't know. It's just so wrong.
Yep.
It's just unethical.
Yeah, throw him a bone.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. Do something. Do right. Yeah, exactly. And then then there are the people who've actually supported you for years and years. You could kind of help us out. People have often accused me for of being on the take. I would love to be on the take.
Yes.
There's no take. There's just give. That's all we got.
There is a lot of give, just like we are going to give you the outro.
There you go.